So I stand between all of you and some incredibly talented leaders and business founders in the St. Louis community. And I am here first and foremost to say it is such a true pleasure to be with you, all of you here tonight. Thank you. Thank you for coming. Thank you for supporting Arch Grants. And on behalf of the whole Arch Grants team, some of my favorite humans, we want to say we are thrilled to have you and welcome to the Nexus Gala. Not only are we here to celebrate the impact of our founders to St. Louis, but we are also here to contribute and to give back and to be part of the future that we want to create. I appreciate so much about the journey and how far we've come and where we are today, but more than anything, I am inspired and excited about where we're going. So for me, and I hope for all of you, tonight is about the horizon. Not only are we building and enhancing the community that we live in, but we are building bridges and connections that are enhancing and impacting communities everywhere. It matters, y'all, it's a big deal. And the collective genius of everyone in this room tonight, when we come together in our united vision, we make incredible things happen. So not only are we building and contributing, but we are multiplying. We are creating a multiplying effect by the supportive ecosystem and the connections that we provide. And I just really I feel like it's a privilege to be a part of. And this is incredible. What an incredible venue. So. But my favorite part of welcoming you tonight and thanking you is that I get to introduce our MC for this evening, a 2020 Arch Grants founder who happens to be wearing an incredible teal crushed velvet jacket this evening. He is a genuine, engaging, brilliant human being, and also a true leader in our community. In a very short period of time, he has made a tremendous impact, and he personifies our mission, our Arch Grants mission, and it's really a privilege to have him. So please join me in welcoming Akeem Shannon.
I gotta be honest, I didn't come here to rap. Came to talk about my business as a matter of fact. Might start a feeding frenzy as I spit on this track. So I asked all the sharks, sit back and relax. Flipstick is the brand. If you already heard about it, raise your hand. It's a kickstand on demand with Flipstick. Gravity is under your command. Let me repeat for those who
How we doing this evening? Man, I'm telling you, look, it looks like we've upgraded. Man, we went from the Super 8 to the Superdome. This is nice, this is nice. Well, as she mentioned, my name is Akeem Shannon. I'm the 2020 Arch Grant founder, and I am your MC for the evening. Now, if you were here last year, you know I am not your grandfather's MC, okay? We're gonna keep this exciting tonight. It is a momentous occasion. We have some incredible founders to introduce you to tonight. But I just want to start off by telling you a little bit about my story. See, you know, you heard a rap when I came out, and some of you may know that I rapped that rap to a deal on Shark Tank. But prior to that deal, I had to rap it to somebody else. See, my business wasn't going so well. I wanted to leave St. Louis. I said, they ain't helping me. It's time for me to go. But I went to an event called the Revolt Summit. And instead of pitching my business, I ended up having to rap pitch my business to none other than billionaire rapper Sean Diddy Combs. And for some reason, it worked out. And you may see a quote up here because Diddy introduced me to somebody else you may know, the original D.O.G. Snoop Dogg. And at a time when I was ready to give up on my dream, Snoop Dogg said, "This shit's gonna change the world." And that got me hyped. But not only did he do that, he made a phone call to Shark Tank, who I had recently gotten rejected from. And he got me in the room, and that's how we aired on the show. And now you may be thinking to yourself, oh, you get on Shark Tank, you air, it's all good to go, the story's written. Well, that ain't what happened. It was November 2020. It was election year. It was election week. And if you don't remember, nobody knew who the president was. And my episode of Shark Tank was getting ready to air. And as it gets ready to air, it's coming on TV. We have a huge watch party. I start that very rap that you see there. And then, interrupting this regularly scheduled programming to bring you a message from candidate Joe Biden. I said, now, Joe, I know you're not going to come interrupt my moment. This is the Super Bowl. And it was devastating. It was really hard. Now, some of you may know we went on to get into Target and QVC and all these major retailers, and recently we ended up on the Inc. 5000 fastest growing companies in America. But here's the thing that you may not know. It wasn't because of a deal on Shark Tank. It was because of the people in this room. It was because people here in St. Louis made calls to Target. It was because people here in St. Louis made calls to the Today Show. It was because investors here in St. Louis believed in the mission, believed in the moment that was happening, and helped us to do that. Now, you're going to learn a little bit about Arch Grants tonight, the over $550 million in revenue that's been generated from companies that started right here in this room. That deserves an applause, $550 million. And I hope that you all know that, look, the money is great, and we all like a little bit of money. However, it's about the journeys that start here. See, here we are funding innovation. We're funding excitement, people who are willing to dream. And by funding those dreams, we don't just change St. Louis. We change the world. The people that go on to work for the companies that we fund tonight will fundamentally change. The lives, the kids, the teens, that the founders you meet tonight will influence, changes the world. So I hope everyone understands. We're in this room to change the world tonight. Are you guys ready to change the world? Fantastic. Well, I have the honor of introducing 2022's Entrepreneur Award winner and the founder of multiple companies, Jim Eberlein. Welcome up to the stage.
Thanks, man. Okay, good evening, everyone. So glad to see everyone here. This is great. I love this place. I tell you, I have the distinct honor tonight to introduce an exceptional, incredible entrepreneur, inspiring leader that grew up here in St. Louis. His name's Jim Kavanaugh. As CEO, go ahead, man. Yeah. As CEO and co-founder of Worldwide Technology, this visionary turned a brilliant idea into a $17 billion global operation, all while maintaining a steadfast commitment to our city's growth and prosperity. Jim's remarkable ability to lead and propel his company with substantial growth comes from his background. And I love this. I heard that he draws from his experience as a professional soccer player, from being in the '84 Olympics, and I really love this, and from great values instilled in him from his parents. This resulted in an award-winning culture at Worldwide and earned Jim top CEO honors from Glassdoor. Once again, I think that's a great achievement among many others that he has. He's a testament to where hard work, innovation, and dedication to one's roots can lead. And it's not just his business acumen that stands out. Jim's contributions to our community and devotedness to his charities reach far beyond the boardroom, impacting lives and inspiring many. This award is intended to do more than celebrate great St. Louis entrepreneurial leaders, which Jim is certainly that. Jim was selected because he is someone that we hope our early stage founders seek to emulate as they grow and scale their businesses. Okay, so we prepared a short video that provides a glimpse into the journey of Jim, who embodies the entrepreneurial spirit that drives progress and positive impact. So please join me, and we'll be taking a look at this tribute.
If I knew then what I know now, the right decision would have been not to go into business because we didn't know much. You just got to be willing to grind it out. I mean, that's one thing I would strongly recommend to anybody getting into business. If you're asking about work-life balance, probably not the right thing for you.
He is absolutely relentless on making worldwide technology successful, staying ahead of the curve, and ensuring that we're positioned always for growth. He asks the executive team a lot of questions and wants feedback. Hey, just because I'm the CEO, tell me. I want to know. But also, he has such a passion for learning. He is a relentlessly pursuit of success through as many means as he can find to make him better and worldwide technology better.
We're marching towards what should be about $20 billion in revenue this year. We have somewhere between 10,300 and probably 10,400 by the end of the year team members. You know, the company has been able to grow this big, under his leadership as CEO, with largely the original cap structure still intact.
So we have employees all over the world. We started being a great place to work and getting on that list of 100 best companies. And I remember, again, went to Jim on that, and he's like, "You think so?" I said, "I think we're ready." And he was great about it, and we got on that list the first time 12 years ago in the U.S., and now we're in the U.K., and we're in Singapore, and we're in India. But back then, he realized the impact of being a great place to work, and he put it in our mission to be a profitable growth company that's a great place to work for all employees.
His ability to hold you accountable and to push you while also making you feel supported is what makes him a great leader and friend, really does. I think having the passion and I would say the drive and work ethic, absolutely critical to success in whatever you do. There's a lot of people, as I say, there's a lot of incredibly smart people, incredibly talented people that never, drive the result because they didn't bring that passion. They didn't have the passion. They didn't have that desire.
Jim came from a very humble background, and he excelled. He excelled here at SLU, including excelling in athletics. He's excelled in life, but Jim has never forgotten who he is or where he came from.
The thing about the investment that Worldwide and Jim plays in the community at large, right, is very important to balance off not only the importance of worldwide technology of business, but the impact it could have in other areas outside of the technology space.
What the Hope Lodge actually is, it's a home away from home, as we call it. So any patient that lives outside of a 40-mile radius in St. Louis, they can stay at the Hope Lodge free of charge. Jim joined our CEO chapter in 2017, but he quickly, after that, agreed to lead a pretty large capital campaign to remodel our Hope Lodge. And we were really going to be right during the middle of the pandemic. He rallied everybody from sports teams to corporate America to the health systems, and he really rallied them around the passion, the impact, and then also St. Louis. He was very much about St. Louis and how he cares about this community. You know, we're fortunate that he was passionate about our Hope Lodge, and you know, they are now naming rights of our Hope Lodge. But you look at everything from how he brought and helped the soccer team come to St. Louis, you look across the river at the NASCAR facility that's there, and kind of everything in between. And I think that shows the passion and the commitment that not just Jim has, but Worldwide Technology and all of those leaders kind of working together to help St. Louis grow.
Come down here every night of the week, and the place is packed. And Friday nights, we call it Friday Night Lights, but we have our own little youth league for anywhere from 3 years old to about 8 years old. And the place is packed. It's a big social event. The kids get to play. Kevin Kalish actually reached out to Jim to see if he would come on board with us and help us, and which he did. Jim and Tom really helped us, not just financially getting us in the right direction, but also internally with all the way the culture, the way Worldwide is run. They brought that into the club, which has been a huge asset for us. He's given back to the organization, St. Louis Scott Gallagher, but also soccer as a whole. And now he's topped it off with bringing St. Louis City here. St. Louis City coming into the MLS and the ownership group building the stadium and the training facility right next door was just a huge step for soccer in St. Louis.
Here at St. Louis University, our mascot is a billiken. A billiken is a mythical figure that serves to make the world it ought to be. And I think that Jim Kavanaugh is a billiken through and through. Jim spends his time trying to make the world, this community, this university better, the way it ought to be.
Well, let's hear it for Jim Kavanaugh once more. Jim, can you come on up here, please? So I also get the honor to introduce a great Arch Grants prospect while Jim's getting up here. Let's keep giving it up for Jim. So, how you doing, Jim? Good to see you. Thank you. So, Ronak Sheth, I get to introduce him. Ronak, come on up here. Ronak is a seasoned leader with over 2 decades of leadership experience in high-growth tech companies. As the CEO of PriceFX, he heads a 600-strong global team delivering top-tier price optimization and management software. Ronak's background includes he co-founded Label Insights, another great St. Louis company, Arch Grants Company, 2012 Arch Grants Company, and steering it to a successful acquisition by Nielsen IQ. He has served on the boards of Grocer Key, Ringer, and Robert Rothschild Farm, and as the entrepreneur in residence for Arch Grants in Washington University in St. Louis. So let's please welcome Ronak Sheth. Thanks, Ronak. Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
All righty.
You want to have a seat? Sure. Congratulations, Jim.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Well deserved.
Thank you very much.
So should we see if the audience is with us here? Any STL City fans here? All right, they're with us. So there's a lot we can talk about. Let's start with sports, right? STL City, a different form of entrepreneurship for you. I'd love to hear from you. Take us through a little bit of that journey and maybe how it's been similar to your professional journey and maybe different as well.
Certainly. First of all, it's awesome to be here. I was, originally expecting maybe 100 people here. Now there's 1,000 people or so. So I'm not sure if you guys got the right event, but thank you for being here. I will say it's absolutely awesome to be here. First of all, I can remember way back when I looked at St. Louis University. We were actually in the armory here. We would come in when it's cold, no heating, no cooling, and training. Some of the guys, Joe Koenig, was a teammate. Tom Strunk, CFO, teammate at St. Louis University. So this brings back memories to me just to be here. And maybe before I even answer your question, I truly look at it, and I don't say this to communicate, anything to to everybody here, with the exception of, it's almost embarrassing to see all the things that are recognized up there, that the things that I have accomplished have never been by myself, and it's been with such a great team of people, friends, leaders, family support, and I truly mean that, that this does not happen alone. The stuff that's up there, and the people, and the kind comments. So, Ronak, to your point, kind of getting to your question, St. Louis City. So first of all, what a great season. I just, and maybe to pass on a little bit of recognition, where's my buddy and friend, Lutz? Where are you, Lutz? You out here? Where's Lutz? Stand up, Lutz. There's Lutz, our sporting director. If you want somebody that's responsible for a great season and a great team and putting together the players and the coach and all that, look at Lutz. He's done an amazing job. So when I look at, as you mentioned here, I think good things happen when you put the time and effort in. Steve Petcher, who was up there, so many common things. When I was traded out to LA back in the day, which we didn't, Steve Petcher played for the Steamers. He actually got traded for me. We got traded, Paulie Garcia and I were out in LA, and we got traded for Steve Petcher and Don Ebert way back in the day. So Steve and I go way back, and Steve is the president of St. Louis Scott Gallagher. But to the point is, really, I got involved with, a great friend of mine and CFO of Worldwide Technology, Tom Strunk, to really help St. Louis Scott Gallagher get better organized, because both of us were players, and they needed some help, I'd say from a leadership standpoint, just organizing the club. Club has 5,000 kids in it. It wasn't doing well financially. So we got involved and really gave back to that, got it better organized, really set, as Patch said, a set of core values that really we established within the club to drive the club, the behavior and how the kids acted. And it was really inspiring to hear the feedback from parents, how that really resonated with the development of the kids. But from there, because of the impact of the club nationally, we had a second division team come to us, which evolved and created St. Louis FC. From St. Louis FC, we brought a Division II team to St. Louis, had great energy, and I think created a lot of visibility, not only locally, but nationally, really looking at what a soccer town St. Louis is. And from there, it really created an opportunity to potentially bring an MLS team here, which is what we have. And, I would say in the spirit of entrepreneurism, we took a run at bringing a team here before the ownership of myself and the Taylor family. We had another group that basically was really on, very close to bringing a team, an MLS team here, but we needed a city vote, and it just did not pass by a small margin. And it was a setback. So just like any entrepreneur here, you have numerous setbacks, and you know, the way you accomplish things, you just keep grinding through those. And you know, thank goodness, not alone, with a whole bunch of great people like Lutz over here, Carolyn, the Taylor family, and the entire staff. You know, we were able to bring St. Louis City to St. Louis, and you know, I couldn't be more proud of, you know, what it's done, not only from a soccer standpoint, but even more importantly, the impact it's had on the community. So very, very excited about that.
That's great. What a great first season. All right, so what was...
by the way, Lutz, do not talk to him tonight, because he's still very upset about not making it to the playoffs. So his beautiful wife, Amalia, is probably like, yes, somebody talk to him, because he's not talking to me. So...
Yeah, lot to be proud of, though. Congratulations on a great first season. All right, so what was harder, building Worldwide to 20 billion or bringing soccer to St. Louis?
Wow, that's a great question. Equally challenging, but both, I would say, equally fun. And both I'm very proud of, and really going back and trying to be succinct with the crowd and understanding time here, that I would just say it does not happen alone. You know, Joe Koenig, that was on the video there, great friend of mine, just an incredible leader. And I just look at things at Worldwide, things at St. Louis City. It happens by building great teams and really just not giving up, you know, never saying die.
Yeah, that's right. It always takes a team, right? It takes a village. But it takes leadership. So let's talk about leadership and you as a CEO. You have been an early stage, you were the early stage CEO at Worldwide, and now here you are at 20 billion, very late stage CEO. How have you had to reinvent yourself and maybe draw on a couple things that's actually the same as it was from the early days, and then maybe the biggest difference now?
Yeah, it is very different. I think part of it is, as entrepreneurs, and there's so many great entrepreneurs out here, you have to kind of determine what do you want to do, and what do you think your strengths are. You know, I don't think there's, you know, a whole bunch of people. Some people just want to be kind of on that startup and the entrepreneurial side, and you just have to kind of decide where you want to be. I actually think I'm a better leader than an entrepreneur, and that's not like promoting one or the other. For me, I would say some of the leadership things, as Joe even mentioned, I truly try to pay attention and read and watch, you know, the best leaders, and look for companies that perform and excel, and try to learn from those. Joe and I and a couple individuals, we had a meeting last night with Lisa Su, who's a CEO of AMD, who's a big competitor to Intel and NVIDIA. If you're ever tracking like AI, she has done like an amazing job. That company was worth $3 billion market cap about 8 years ago when she started as CEO. Now it's worth $185 billion. And I'm like, I can learn something from her. You know, we can learn something from her. So the point is, I think having that insatiable appetite to continue to learn and never be complacent, to think you have all the answers. But it is very different, Ronak, to look at from an early stage company to building a larger organization. And you do have to step back, because there are different responsibilities, and there are different things that you have to very quickly throughout that process determine the things that you may have gotten involved with, the detail of the business. You've got to continue to look at where is your time best spent, and where can you have the biggest impact on the business. And you have to learn how to get out of the way of talented leaders that you bring on. Because if you bring those talented leaders on and you don't empower them and get out of their way and let them go out and do their job, they will leave. So there is a learning curve that I would challenge, you know, the entrepreneurs in the room. As you grow and develop and scale your business, you have to really step back and think about what stage your business is in and where does it need you to be. And I will say, the last point from a CEO, even at the size of Worldwide at this point, I believe you can never feel like you're too good to get your hands dirty. And there may be times that you're flying at 30,000 feet and you're looking at the vision and the long-term plan of the business. And at the same time, you may need to drill all the way down into the details of a specific area that may not be working as well as it needs to be. You don't stay down there, but you need to demonstrate that willingness to get into the details and grind it out and then get back up and see what you need to do from a high level. So it is something that you really need to think about as you grow and scale your business.
Yeah, I mean, the second you completely get out of the weeds, you can't have that appreciation for the business any longer. So it sounds like that's something you always need to have. And you talked a lot about team and who you surround yourself with, right? Again, probably important at any stage, but as you get bigger and bigger, that becomes paramount because you can't be everywhere.
Yeah, you can't, and you shouldn't be. And I there was something in the video, I think I even mentioned, if you're an entrepreneur, if the words coming out of your mouth are work-life balance, you're probably in the wrong job, which I would have to agree with that. But well, the team's laughing a little bit too much back there. But I do say work-life balance is an important thing. You can't do that forever. You can't grind. So there are times, work ethic, never underestimate. I don't care if it's sport or business, the importance of work ethic and your willingness to put the time and effort to continue to do what is needed to get the job done. But you do need, over time, you need to figure out what that balance is and where you get your relief, where you're able to get away, how you do that with friends, family, because you can't just grind and grind and grind, or you will burn yourself out.
Yeah, that's right. I guess for the worldwide team, you're not working, but you're here for the award, right? So you were let off the hook at least. Let's talk about this comment you made, and maybe a couple of additional comments on the video on if you want work-life balance, right? Entrepreneurship may not be for you. There are a lot of early stage founders here in the audience, and sometimes when you see these videos or you hear about people's stories, it can sound easy. Was it easy? Probably not, right? So what are some of the hard truths for the entrepreneurs? And keep in mind, a lot of these entrepreneurs, they don't even have revenue yet. They haven't even hired their first employee. They're trying to figure those types of things out. So what would you say to them?
Yeah, there's just a ton of, hard truths, I think, to the point. And I think one, just you got to be realistic about the business, your business. You have to be willing to face the brutal facts of whatever that reality you're dealing with. And I think you've got to be willing, as I've mentioned before, to put the time and effort in to do what you need to do to grind through those challenging times. Because I can tell you, in every area I've mentioned relative to soccer, the vote not passing, you will have setbacks. So I think getting in your mind to just think through, how do you deal with setbacks? And do you look at as setbacks as demoralizing? Or do you look at those setbacks, these are opportunities to learn? And they may not look like there's something, this is a real welcoming and enjoyable learning opportunity for you, but I think that's a mindset that you want to create. And the same thing I would look at playing soccer growing up is like, how do you take constructive feedback from your coach? How do you take, a challenge or a setback and learn from that and get better? And those are the things that I would say is building the values and behaviors that are going to get you to where you need to be. And I also believe surrounding yourself with smart people that are going to give you honest feedback on what you're doing right and what you're doing wrong, and listen to those people and welcome that feedback, because if you give them the Heisman and you don't want that feedback, they'll stop giving it to you, and that is not going to be helpful for you to develop your business. So you have to build some thick skin, and you have to welcome, critical and constructive input.
Let me pick up on something you just said. So as you get, higher, or once you're at the top, sometimes it can be hard to get feedback. So how do you do it? How do you get people to give you the real stuff?
It's a real issue. I mean, fortunately right now I know a lot of, I would say, CEOs in positions big positions, big jobs, big companies. And some of them that I know that, you know, ego has gone to their head. Ego can be the enemy at times, and it can be a challenge. And if you literally believe you have all the answers and you stop welcoming input, especially if people around you believe that you could, you know, there could be backlash to input that they're providing, that input will stop coming. And that will not be productive for you. So I believe that as you become more and more successful, I truly believe to just remember where you came from and how you got to where you are, and do not allow it to go to your head, because I have just seen it happen too many times, and it just is not it just does not sit well for me. And the people around you, you can see it. You can see it in people that they allow it to go to their head, and literally their entire team stops telling them what they need to hear. They tell them what they want to hear, and that is not advancing their personal development or the company. So you've got to create a level of trust and I would say communication with your team, that you get real input.
Makes sense. We could talk for probably a couple hours up here. I got lots of questions, but I'm going to end on one last question for you, which is, as you reflect back on your career, if you had a do-over, what would you have done differently?
You know, I've thought about this. I have made absolutely my fair share of mistakes, for sure. But I really don't. I look at things, and there could be things just in structure, it could be equity, different things that you want to think about with different areas or organizations. But overall, I just don't have any real regrets about things. I'm very, very fortunate. I'm just incredibly blessed and fortunate to be where I am today. And you know, if I did leave the group with with something, I just think, don't focus on the recognition, your personal recognition. If anything, make sure the recognition goes to the people that deserve it, and 90% of the time, that's your team. And when I look at that and take pride in what you and your collective team are doing, and feel good about it, and personally, my view is, the things worldwide, city, other things that have happened, that's not what's most important to me. What's most important to me is my family, my friends, Angela, Zach, Joanne, everybody here, my kids, my family and my friends. They're what's most important. If that's not right, I can't get up and be excited about what I'm doing in the business and where I'm going with other things. So I would just say, make sure you keep the things that are really important in your life, keep those as your guiding, your kind of guiding light, and then go out and go for it, go get it. And I wish you guys all the best of success here. Yeah, best of luck.
Thanks, Jim. Okay. One more big round of applause for Jim Kavanaugh. Congratulations.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
There you go.
Thank you.
Let's hear it one more time for Jim Kavanaugh, guys. Wow. Well, listen, if you want to become a billionaire, don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. And I got good news. Everyone's getting ready to get their hands dirty. Okay, I can't promise $1 billion, but it is time to eat, all right? So dinner is served. Please enjoy yourselves. Drink, be merry, talk to your neighbor, and we will be back for the show in about 45 minutes. Sound good? All right. So listen up, guys. An event like tonight, it doesn't happen without an incredible team. An incredible team of passionate individuals who want to encourage the entrepreneurial spirit. And a team does not get that encouragement without an incredible leader. Now, I have the honor to introduce someone who I am glad to be able to call a friend, and also the executive director of Arch Grants, Gabe and Jerry. Coming up, Gabe.
You still butcher my name. Good evening. You know, Akeem was just talking about what it takes to pull off an event like this and to run an organization like Arch Grants. And I would be remiss if I didn't call out my team at Arch Grants. Please, anybody that's here tonight, anybody, you're all here tonight because I think I insisted on it. Jamie, Jess, Alfred, Sarah, John, Lauren, please stand up and be recognized. I also need to call out a very special individual that I'm so lucky to call a friend, a mentor, and more recently, one of my 14 bosses serving on the Arch Grants Board of Directors. He's one of those people that adds life and creativity to every endeavor that he's a part of. And as our creative director for the last 8 years, he has never ceased to amaze, crafting an event worthy of the ambition and the innovation that Arch Grants seeks to represent in this community. I think we can all agree that tonight is no exception. He's probably up in the tech book, annoyed that I'm talking about him instead of sticking to the timing, but I need to call out Richard Tao for his amazing work. I also want to acknowledge our board of directors, without whom Arch Grants would not exist. They ceaselessly, endlessly give their time, their resources to steer this organization towards greater purpose and enhanced impact. Arch Grants Board of Directors, please quickly stand and be recognized. And please, your significant others, stand as well, because I know it wouldn't happen without their support. There are so many others, too many in fact, to thank one by one, to recognize and celebrate for making tonight what it is. But to our sponsors, our community volunteers, our judges, committee members, and our generous donors, know that we thank you from the bottom of our hearts for the confidence and investment that you have made in bringing Arch Grants to where it is today, 11 years in. Thank you so much. Now, from this diverse group of seemingly unrelated partners, the nonprofits, the civic partners, the corporate partners, and the hundreds of individuals that participate in our program every year, Arch Grants forges opportunities for our founders to attract talent, raise capital, acquire customers, and ultimately build their companies and their lives as they shape the future of this city. You might ask, how exactly does that happen? And I might answer, Courtney, that's a great question. It's over 11 years of taking risks, of actively learning from each of you and collaborating with each of you in this room. It's relentless self-improvement. This is how St. Louis builds our future economy. And Arch Grants is the core. It's the Nexus. A Nexus isn't just a point of connection. It's where multiple paths intersect and forge forward, having been forever changed. It's where the dreams and aspirations of entrepreneurs who dare to blaze a new way forward meet the support and guidance of the entrepreneurial and business community, the leaders who participate in this organization. And together, they build a different future. It's in the hotel lobby where Lou Alderuzzo happened to run into Jim McKelvey back in 2013. If you know Lou, he didn't pass that opportunity up, and he gave Jim a 30-second pitch. Today, Lou credits that chance encounter with forever changing the trajectory of immunophotonics, a company developing a game-changing cancer treatment and bringing it to where they are now in the final phase 2 clinical trials. It's in the Zoom meeting room where Natalie King met Maxine Clark back in 2020, unfortunately part of our pandemic cohort, that we switched everything to Zoom. But Maxine saw promise and potential in Natalie and offered to mentor her as she grew her business called Flore from a concept, a beauty brand concept, focused on serving people of color to a high-end product that's in the market today. And it's in the Knight Center, where 3 months ago at our finalist pitch day, one of our finalists met, I won't name his name, but an executive with Schnucks, who helped get his product onto the shelves of over 100 stores in less than 3 months. These chance encounters may seem to be just that, but for Lou and Jim and Natalie and one of the founders you're about to meet tonight, it's much more than that. And the last 11 years have taught us differently. Creating the space, the nexus, where these connections happen is both an art and a science. And the better we do it, the more organic it feels. Each entrepreneur that we award, every grant we present, and each relationship we foster ripples through this community. Startups find their ground, innovators find their voice, and St. Louis finds its next champions. The city boasts a legacy filled with resilience and innovation, and visionaries who shaped its narrative. Now, we're bridging that past to a future of limitless potential. Companies like Intramotive, WingExpand, Audra aren't just promising startups, they're torchbearers, reigniting our region's legacy industries in a way that's relevant for today. And after awarding over $16 million in non-dilutive funding to 252 companies in the last 11 years, it's you. This is what impact looks like at scale. 3,600 jobs created in the St. Louis metro. $696 million raised in follow-on capital. $742 million in revenue generated. And over $160 million paid out to St. Louis-based employees. But Arch Grants isn't just about business growth. It's about creating a diverse community of entrepreneurs who see equality and inclusion as more than words on a website. Inclusively, Bold Exchange, Rebundle, and others that we've funded, they have these principles hardwired into their business models. And when they enter the Arch Grants Nexus, our network, you in this room and many more, we're able to help them hone, focus, and accelerate their growth, and therefore, their impact. And the same is true for many more companies, like Gift-A-Meal and Healthy Hip Hop, that are reshaping the social narratives, not just in St. Louis, but around the country. Andrew Glantz shared recently with me that he has now served over 3 million meals through Gift-A-Meal since he was funded. It's incredible. I don't know where you are, Andrew, but I hope I got that number right. But so impressive. I've never been more excited about the opportunities, about this mission, and the work we have before us. Yesterday, we convened over 60 of our companies from nearly all cohort years. 2012, I'm looking at you. You didn't show up. Quentin. We brought them together for a full day of workshops, peer learning, and connections between entrepreneurs from all those past years and from a wide array of industries, backgrounds, and growth stages. I could only be there for a short time because we were throwing a little party tonight, but in that short time, I couldn't help but being inspired and reinvigorated. After 8 years with this organization, every time I'm in a room with our entrepreneurs, that flame gets reignited. If you're an Arch Grants founder here tonight, the last time I'll ask anybody to stand up, please stand up and be recognized for the passion and ambition that you bring to this community. And I'm so excited to share that just this morning, we were awarded a $750,000 through the Economic Development Administration's Build to Scale program to launch Gateway Ascend. With this new 3-year initiative, we're not just scaling a model. We are laying down the tracks for the next generation of agri-food tech, geospatial, and advanced manufacturing startups in St. Louis, and we are reaffirming our commitment to supporting underrepresented founders who we all know face a unique set of challenges as they seek to grow their businesses. And in the coming weeks, we'll be announcing a new program, if all that wasn't enough, to engage and integrate local later-stage startups, providing them support, access to resources, and most importantly, a community of like-minded people driven by ambition and passion that they can learn and collaborate with, really forging this St. Louis entrepreneurial community into a cohesive unit. This event every year is a physical representation of our Nexus. We're about to welcome 22 new startups to this community. I encourage you not only to get to know them, but to let them get to know you. I know some of the connections that are made in this room tonight will help write the stories that we celebrate in the years to come. My last little plug, and you don't have to stand up, but I need to call out 2 individuals, 2 dynamo female leaders who forever changed the course of my career. And they just so happen to both be here tonight, so I can't pass up the opportunity. When Ginger Imster brought me into Arch Grants back in 2016, I didn't know what to expect, didn't really know much about startups, dynamic leader, interesting movement. And after only a very brief time that we got to work together, Emily Lozubush took the reins and helped build an organization that has generated significant impact in this community. I am so grateful to these 2 individuals. Ginger and Emily, I can't thank you enough for everything that you gave to me in the course of this journey, and I think we should all give them a round of applause. I'll leave you with this. Arch grants started off as a radical idea. Jerry and Bob and Joe, when you launched this organization back in 2011, I don't think many people had much expectation. I think what's been proven out is that this is a worthy cause, and it generates so much impact in this community. Thank you for your leadership, your confidence, your support. And I can say with full confidence, the best is yet to come. Thank you. The best is truly yet to come because I get to introduce Danielle Devins and Doug Spencer, co-founders of Bold Exchange. Bold Exchange is an online gifting platform powered by underrepresented brands that's making it easier for busy leaders to send memorable gifts. Please welcome Danielle and Doug as they help introduce our 2023 cohort. Thank you.
Thank you, Gabe, for that warm welcome and also for your stewardship of Arch Grants. Can we give him a round of applause as well? I have to say, y'all look good tonight.
They really do.
Good,
They
right?
really do. We're bringing the 2023 class in style. And now Bold Exchange was a 2020 Arch Grants cohort member. And this little thing called COVID delayed our arrival to St. Louis. And our first Gala experience was completely virtual.
Yeah, so it was different times for everyone, of course, Bold Exchange as well. I think at the time, I had just quit my job at another young startup, and Doug was still in his final year at Georgetown Law.
Yeah, I remember that time well because Bold Exchange was only 3-4 months old, and Arch Grants was truly pivotal in our decision to both take a chance and work on Bold Exchange full time.
Yeah, we've really had the breadth of the early stage startup experience. Bold Exchange, when we moved to St. Louis, was a consumer-focused e-commerce platform, and now it has blossomed into a company that helps teams of all sizes enjoy and send better, more thoughtful gifts.
Yeah, I'm proud to share that this year, Bold Exchange has worked with leaders at nationally recognized brands like CarMax, Capital One, Northwestern Mutual, Goldman Sachs, and the list goes on, to think about how they can reinvigorate their gifting strategies and not only do that, but support their retention and engagement strategies. And as of this year, we've shipped gifts to all 50 states and many international locations from our headquarters right here in St. Louis.
Now, I will say we'd be remiss if we did not mention our heavy hitter St. Louis partners like Centene. I know there's a table of y'all over here. Centene, BJC, the Regional Business Council, who've partnered with Bold Exchange, and so many of those opportunities really circle back to Arch Grants. This summer, we raised a round of funding for Bold Exchange, and $100,000 of that was non-dilutive grant financing through Arch Grants' Growth Grants program. And we really have to thank Arch Grants for allowing us and propelling us to continue growing the software and experiences that help make any gifting occasion more memorable and a lot easier to do.
That's right. As a gifting marketplace, Bold Exchange has directly put hundreds of thousands of dollars into the hands of other phenomenal underrepresented founders so that they can scale too. And I actually think we've left off the biggest win of this year.
What's that?
Come on, you know this. So obviously we're co-founders, and from the very beginning we've gotten asked with Bold Exchange, like, yeah, I get it, you work together, but is there something else there, or what's going on? And 4 months ago we got married, so. Yeah, it's a pretty amazing, all-encompassing experience, and I know that for you, working with me is the best part of this whole experience, right?
You know, I'm not going to speak to that. It's enough about us. This has been a beautiful night, an incredible program, and without further ado, I'm honored to introduce the 2023 cohort of Arch Grants. You can take a look.
The best information that a dispatcher might see when you call 911 is the street address of where you're at. Federal law now mandates the use of software like 9lines, where we insert precise, detailed information about where you are specifically in a building so that first responders can find you. Because our entire mission is to improve the outcome of anyone who picks up the phone and calls 911.
We are 12 Pentagons. We design and make experimental footballs and make content about the process. And that content is resonating. In our first year, our videos got more than 100 million views across TikTok and Instagram, and we gathered more than 900,000 followers. We're about to drop our first ball.
Sweet Spot enables doctors to provide better care for their diabetes patients. We do that by providing them the data from their patients' wearable glucose and insulin devices. This is data that clinicians cannot readily see today, and so it greatly limits their view into the patient's health. We are transforming the standard of care for diabetes and to help millions of people live longer, healthier lives.
Chippin is the ingredient platform for the pet food industry. We're on a mission to power a transparent and resilient domestic food system, one that serves pets, their people, and the companies that craft our pet foods. We can address the urgent and unmet demand for pet food fish substitutes while supporting local jobs and biodiversity.
Constituent Connection takes the money out of politics by focusing on communication tools that connect people running for office with constituents. We bridge the gap and ensure that there's true trust being built. It really is about finding ways to help one another and to build those relationships that ensure that we get better people elected to office and we get people in office who represent us.
Foresight is a dual-use startup focused on commercial and defense applications for advanced, portable, renewable energy generation, storage, and charging for unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones. Foresight has developed proprietary hardware and software for charging these drones anywhere. Our technology unlocks applications in austere environments without grid infrastructure and improves mission efficiency and operator safety.
Gateway Quantum Electronics makes superconducting, quantum noise limited microwave amplifiers that will accelerate the industry's ability to build large, scalable quantum computers.
We are the sisters and the founders of Golden Gems. Golden Gems is a lifestyle brand designing products that inspire you to live unapologetically, to take up space and live life on your own terms. But Golden Gems is more than just a retail brand. We host community events that support marginalized communities. We can't wait to continue to grow our brand and in turn grow St. Louis.
Greater Health Pharmacy and Wellness is a first-of-its-kind, radically inclusive, culturally responsive, and free delivery pharmacy founded right here in St. Louis, Missouri. We leverage technology to ensure that all people have access to free delivery, culturally responsive counseling, and additional services that ensure that they experience greater health and a greater quality of life.
Habitat builds financial management products for music businesses. So artists, labels, managers can budget for releases, make payments, process their royalties, recoup expenses, do their taxes, and so much more. We save them time and money on complex financial tasks that creative people don't really want to do.
Honeydew is building the future of dermatology care. We're connecting people who have a chronic skin condition with a licensed specialist and helping them access FDA-approved treatments. Our platform automates complex dermatology workflows to treat patients through an end-to-end crafted consumer experience, building a gold mine of data that can help drive product and drug innovation and further the field.
King of the Curve is an education company that is focused on preparing students for high-stakes exams. We make studying engaging and affordable while earning students high results in the competition.
Raven is a new platform that introduces a revolutionary approach to discovering and ordering satellite imagery. Our mission is to enable everyone to gain access to Earth observation data, regardless of experience or knowledge.
modular building systems, manufactures buildings and panels and floor sections. We have an innovative patented technology that allows us to assemble these buildings in record time on site. Our focus is the affordable housing crisis, homelessness, and disaster relief efforts. Our goal is to reduce construction costs by 30% and construction timelines by 50%.
Panamina makes clothing personal. We create made-to-order sustainable clothing for all body shapes and sizes.
Women input their unique body measurements on our website, and we use fit algorithms to translate those measurements into a perfectly fitted garment. We're revolutionizing the way that women shop for clothing online.
One custom fitting garment at a time.
Sin Matrix is born in Argentina, and we are leading our ambitious goal, revolutionizing agriculture on a plant-by-plant basis. Leveraging our seed encapsulation technology, we enhance planting quality, boost early growth by adding biostimulants, monitor seed death and distribution in real time during planting, and give plants the ability to show if they are under any kind of stress.
Founded in a St. Louis University dorm room, Soul Juice is the first natural Korean pear juice in the US. Packed with electrolytes, Soul Juice has as much potassium as a banana and half the sugar of apple and orange juice. Use it to replenish yourself after a workout or a long night out. Check Soul Juice out today.
Shades of Color is revolutionizing the beauty shopping experience with our AI-powered personalized beauty marketplace, helping us to find beauty products for our unique skin tone, skin type, and allergies. Our social impact is connecting beauty entrepreneurs in our communities with their curated products to beauty shoppers all around the world.
Hi, we're the Girls Company. When we looked for other cramp pain solutions, we were shocked to find there were almost no good options.
That's why we created our product, an all-natural, portable, and discreet solution to alleviate period cramp pain.
We're the girls, and we believe that your life shouldn't stop when your period starts, period.
Top Tutors for Us, a business by Black tutors for Black students. We provide culturally competent education in classrooms and school districts, providing Black students equal opportunity to succeed in college admissions. We aim to be a personalized resource not just to each school, but to each student.
Vet Verify is a tech company that makes instant verified proof of vaccination for our pets possible. We connect veterinarian clinics and the data they have simply and securely with the companies that require access to those medical records for our furry friends, from other clinics down the street, to groomers, to boarders, to the kennels.
We Hear You believes that diversity and inclusion should never be the afterthought of innovation. So we created Push, a remote device that turns handicapped accessible doors into automatic doors with the push of a personal button, so that we can ensure everyone has equal and equitable access.
I think we can all agree this is a group of people that is doing some incredible work already, and I cannot wait to see where all of you are in just a few years with Arch Grants by your side. At this time, I would love for all the 2023 founders to come up on the stage.
All right, guys, let's give one more round of applause for the 2023 Cohort of Arts Grants. Congratulations, guys. Congratulations.